Well, I was out to dinner one night and felt a little unusual.
So I was a victim of a motorcycle accident.
My goal going into teaching was to relay that excitement that I had for biology to my students.
This may look like a regular football helmet, but this is a very special tool.
Well, I literally couldn't sit up in my chair, and I was sliding to the left, and I'd go like this and pull myself back up. And I finished dinner, and I knew something wasn't right. But it was Christmas Eve, and I wasn't gonna go to the hospital. And about 3 in the morning, I got up, and I had difficulty walking, moving my legs. We came to the hospital. I suspected I had a stroke, in that I didn't have any of the characteristic signs. I had to relearn all the basics for everyday life, like driving and bathing, and walking was my biggest challenge. The most impressive thing to me about Lake Charles Memorial was the care that I received and the people that brought me that care. They were very nice, and they treated me genuinely. It was a good experience. I was certainly enthusiastic about getting well. I have things to do and plans to make, and I'm still working on them. Adversity isn't going to hold me back, with the help of Memorial Hospital.
I was literally on what was going to be my last ride with a motorcycle I'd owned for about a decade, and I was heading back to work. I didn't have any time to react. I couldn't brake. I just saw the impact coming. I tried to swerve a little bit, and I hit her head on. There was a point in all this I didn't know if I would survive. I remember specifically praying, saying, "Why me?" And God just simply said, "Tell your story." I had a comfort from there moving on that I knew I'd be okay. And then just the sheer determination of a Marine that doesn't know how to lose. All the caregivers were incredible. Since the accident, I've referred to them as the angels among us. Over the course of the next week, there were multiple operations. I was in the ICU for a little over a week. Then from there, I went to the recovery floor for about 3 weeks. So it was about a month from the time of the accident, maybe 5 weeks before I got to go to the rehab unit. So I was probably within 2 weeks of my finishing therapy when I got to do the Independence Walk, got to go grocery shopping. You know, just the challenge of reaching to the different levels of the shelves and doing something that people take for granted every day. It was the first time I accomplished a task and felt like I was kind of plugging back into the real world. And I knew that the driving simulator was going to be one of the key aspects to me being able to return to society and function and, you know, be a dad, a husband, an employee. Going back to work and being able to drive is one of the steps that you have to go through. The foundation at Memorial that does donate these things and fund all these other tools that are used for recovery, in my instance, I'm sure that's just a small part of the things that they do.
I didn't know I really liked biology until I got to college. And I had to take an entry-level biology course, and man, I really liked it. So next thing I knew, I had a whole degree of biology. We asked Memorial Hospital to invest in the future of our students, and they agreed. We got some technology that allows our students to dissect human anatomy in a way that we've never had the opportunity to allow high schoolers to do before. Our students put on these glasses, and so if it's a human heart, for example, it's projected in front of the screen, and our students can take apart the human heart. And we have all systems of the human body, not just the heart. So anything that our students are struggling with as far as understanding the complexity of a system of the human body, the Z-Space screen allows them to dissect it, to take it apart, to reassemble, to find blockages, to pinpoint a fracture in a bone, whereas there's no way without this technology that I'd be able to do that within a classroom. What's cool about this technology is it does that for all types of students, not just the students who are really good in biology, but it helps the students that are struggling and can't picture that image in their head. They have to see it in the 3D realm. So those students who would normally just check out of biology are engaged and are excited about the content. If we get more students engaged in biology in high school, think about how many more are gonna go on to college and pursue that field. So we are the only school in Calcasieu Parish with this technology, and that is only made possible through the foundation at Memorial Hospital.
At one time or another, all of our kids will go through high school. They'll become members of our community. They'll become employees, nurses, doctors, policemen, and we need them to be productive and healthy as possible. And I'm one of the founders of the Foundation for Fair Play, or the F3 Foundation, which provides safety equipment for our local male and female high school athletes. This may look like a regular football helmet, but this is a very special tool. This helmet provides information in real time to athletic trainers on the field during practice or in games to alert him on whether a player received too hard of a hit or too many hits to his head. The athletic trainer can track how many hits they're incurring and how hard these hits are, because as we know, concussions are a major problem in football.
You've seen a lot of stories and a lot of visuals that can say far better than I the importance for a foundation. But it doesn't just happen. We have a wonderful board here, and it's led by Jackie Rowe, who is our foundation chair. And we have people from diverse areas within the community. And they help us meet people in the community, identify gifts that might be available, and on many occasions they help us secure those gifts. The mission of the foundation is to support the initiatives of the hospital. Every time that we raise a dollar, we help the hospital so that they don't have to use operating and capital resources. We have events that we produce that help people come to network and see what we're all about. Events like our On the Town Gala, our Tim Coffey golf tournament, the Foundation for Fair Play dinner and auction, and also our wonderful jazz night that we do every December. But those aren't just events to be events. They support our important funds. And those funds are the Heart Fund, the Cancer Fund, the Women and Children's Fund, our Alan Lobato LSU Resident Fund, and they're all important to the job that we do in supporting the mission of the hospital. There are many ways that you can support the foundation beyond just writing a check. We work one-on-one with donors to do special gifts. We also have name gift opportunities where you can lend your name to a particular project. And we accept annuities, life insurance, and gifts of real estate as well.
One of the ways Memorial has sustained its exceptional patient care is through charitable gifts and fundraising efforts. With your gifts, we've been able to build and expand our services to offer the most modern emergency room, ICU, cath lab, ORs, behavioral health hospital, women's campus, and soon to be a level 3 trauma program. We could not continue our unprecedented growth without your generous support. Your gift to the foundation stays right here in Lake Charles and helps our community. Southwest Louisiana is one of the most giving communities I've ever been a part of.
I'm a big believer in charitable donations. When we donate to anything, no different than when we give a tithe in church, it's an act of faith and knowing that the organization that you're giving to is working towards the greater good. You never know whose lives it's going to touch or how it will affect somebody, whether it's the difference in somebody being able to go back to work again or be bound to a wheelchair the rest of their life. And when you're giving with your heart, no different than God asked us to, it's not about the size of the gift, it's about what's behind it that matters. And He'll take that and turn it into something you could never imagine.